Hello and welcome to the final programme of this series of In Our House. UK children are less happy than those in 16 other nations that took part in a survey.
The survey by Children's World quizzed children on their happiness.
Children were quizzed on home and family life, personal well-being and views on children's rights, as well as overall happiness.
We asked children what they thought made them happy.
The thing that makes me happy is my mum, because she makes me food.
The last time I was happy was when my little cousin was born.
I am happy when my nan comes to make cakes with me and Sante.
I'm happy when I make my mum and dad proud when I done well at school.
I'm happy when I go to my dad's because I get to go to garages and fix cars with him. What makes me happy is my family, because when I get home, they always welcome me like I've been away for a long time.
I'm always happy when I'm smart as a calculator and I do well at maths.
I was happy when my baby cousin had a baptism and then we went to have fun at this theme park.
My cat makes me laugh when he lies on me and purrs. I am happy when my friends and family come round and it's a nice sunny day outside.
What makes me happy is football and WWE when I get to do the moves on my brothers. And cook.
The thing that makes me happy is spending time with my family and going out to dinner with them.
The happiest thing I've ever done in my life is going to the Giant's Causeway, because the person who invented the Giant's Causeway I am named after Finn.
What makes me happy is playing netball, because I can play with all my friends at the same time, and I scored 4 yesterday.
I feel happy when I went on TNT when I saw myself.
What makes me happy is my mum gives me hugs, and when I start playing football, when I kick the ball, I get a big smile.
You're watching In Our House from TNT News. Thanks for watching. And now, more news.
Well, hello, welcome to Aston Vision News.
We are going to be finding out all about cleaning our environment and keeping it litter-free.
Coming up on the programme,
We speak to Hedrina, who is a counsellor for Lowzells and East Handsworth.
and catch our handy guide to household recycling. But first,
We spoke to Simon Badley from Handsworth Helping Hands about what they are doing to combat the litter problem. Tell us about Handsworth Helping Hands.
Well, Handsworth is the most important thing. I've lived here for 40 years. Love the Handsworth. And so I suppose we're all from Handsworth, aren't we? Helping is about the fact that I think there are a lot of people around here who need help. You know, one of the difficulties is that people can be very tidy inside their houses and very tidy in their businesses, but they don't think that the street or even the front garden or the back garden is part of their homes. So you get people and businesses keeping places very tidy, but then what they call the public space is often the place where people drop litter and hope that the city council will pick it up.
What are you doing to combat the litter problem?
We've invented, talking to people, what should we do about this, a thing called a skip it, don't tip it day. And we choose a particular street, maybe because people from that street have said, oh, we're getting tired of all the rubbish in this street, it's a disgrace. And they put it on social media, you know, the pictures on Facebook and so on, pictures of rubbish and so on. Lorry comes round, drops the skip down in the street, and it's all this stuff. I love this kind of business, you know, down you go, and down goes the skip. And then within seconds, people come out of the houses carrying every kind of imaginable rubbish, grey, black bags, what's much more important is people try very hard to persuade their neighbours about what's the best thing to do.
Thank you very much for coming.
Well, you're welcome.
for your time.
I'm honoured that you've asked me to come.
Gina, who's the councillor for Low Earls in East Hamsworth, popped in to tell us about the work she does to keep our environment clean.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Hello. Do you think people in Birmingham still throw rubbish in bins that could be recycled?
We are seeing more recycling, and we are seeing more people taking an initiative to keeping the streets and open spaces clean. And as we say, we do it together. Let's do it together. It's our environment. Let's look after our environment.
What are the council doing to encourage people to use their domestic recycling bins?
I had a lot of discussions with people before we had the wheel bins. We heard from them, and people wanted the wheel bins in our ward because people want to see our streets cleaner and open spaces greener, and together, council and the people, the residents, we work together. We speak to them in our ward meetings to say we all need to do this together. We all have a job to make sure that our streets are cleaner, and everybody has got a bit to do in this. And on the streets, we've got litter bins as well. So let's use these bins so that we can keep our streets clean. I'm pleased now you can speak to all your friends as well about the importance of recycling and making use of the bins.
Do you know how to recycle your household recycling properly?
Here's a handy guide. You should put your recycling out at the front door of your property between 3:30 p.m. the day before your collection is due and 6 a.m. on the day of your collection. What you should put into your paper pod or blue box. Please use your paper pod for all types of paper and card except milk, juice, Tetra Pak cartons, padded envelopes, soiled paper or cards such as greasy pizza boxes. What you can recycle in your wheelie bin or green box. Your recycling wheelie bin or green box is for plastic household and toiletry bottles, lids removed, brown, green and clear glass jars and bottles, plastic drink bottles with lids removed, clean foil and foil trays, aerosols, food and drink cans, metal and plastic lids, plastic pots, tubs and trays, except black trays. Your recycling wheelie bin or green box is not for food waste, garden waste, paint or any other non-food tins, drinking glasses, Pyrex or ceramics, black food trays, carrier bags and bin bags, hard plastics, example toys, light bulbs, mirrors, plastic film or wrappers, example cling film, polystyrene, batteries, corks.
You must not put additional sacks of rubbish by your wheelie bins. They will not be collected. If you put the wrong materials in your bins pods, they will not be collected. Please take your bins back onto your property, sort out the materials and put it back out. You can book a one-off large items collection today and let us get rid of the things you can't. The council will collect your large items such as beds, sofas and fridges from outside your home. Collections cost £25 each or £23 online and can take more than one item.
We hope you found this video helpful.
Thanks for watching. And for more information about household recycling or getting rid of your bulky waste, visit this website.
As you may know, the metro is going to extend into the Birmingham city centre, and cyclists may have a problem cycling along the tracks.
So we've taken some advice on what to do.
We're in the city centre of Birmingham today to find out a bit more about cycling safely. One of the new things that's come into the city centre recently is the Midland Metro, so we're also going to be looking at how we cross the tram tracks. When we're looking at cycling safely in the city, around the tram tracks, we need to look initially at routes that avoid the tram tracks, because if we can, we'll find alternative routes. But if you have to go down the same route as the tram, the best thing is to cross it with your bike wheel at a right angle, so you can't catch your wheel into the actual rut of the tram track. Another thing is to be very careful when it's wet or icy, because you could slip with your bike. And also in the city centre you've got lots and lots of different people. You've got the pedestrians, you've got your buses, you've got people in taxis and cars, as well as your trams. So you need to be looking around and observant all the time when you're on your bikes.
Can we cross anywhere?
If there is a designated cycle route, it's best to use that and wait at the point which is marked with the cycle symbol. So on this road here, if you're coming up from Colmore Row, you can see there's a little cycle track there with the symbols. So you'd come up that little track and you'd wait to cross, you'd look both directions, and then you'd cross over at that point of the tracks.
Which signs are we looking for?
You're looking at signs on signposts which are blue signs, where there's a white bicycle on a blue background. That shows where the cycle tracks are. And if you're looking on the ground, you're looking at a white painted bicycle. Can you see them over there?
If there is a red circle around the signs, it means you can't go there, and it also means danger.
Okay, so here we are on the cycle track. Once we get to this point here, this is where we need to stop and look and listen before we cross the tram tracks. Okay, if you're crossing the rails, you need to cross at a right angle. Do you know what a right angle is?
Yeah.
Yes,
It's an L shape.
It's like that, yes. Which means that the wheels of your bike don't get stuck in the rails of the tram tracks. You could actually catch your wheel in the tram tracks if you don't cross them at a right angle, and that would obviously throw you off your bikes, so that's what we want to avoid.
Where about on the main street should we cycle?
Okay, when there's no cycle track like we had earlier, you don't cycle on the pavement, you should be cycling on the road, but you should be cycling between the curb and the first tram track, and as you've cycled just now, carefully in a straight line, single file.
And here's another magic trick for you. Okay, so inside this bag, okay, there's nothing. Right, you see nothing? No. And in the camera, you see nothing inside the bag. Okay, I got this to prove there's nothing inside. Like that. Okay. Now, watch this. I'm just gonna go put my hand inside the bag, like this. Okay, and you can see.
It's impossible to do it, isn't it?
There you go. There's one. Put that down there. There's one. Okay. And to prove it, there's nothing inside the bag, is there? No. Nothing inside the bag? Nothing inside the bag. Okay. Nothing inside. Like that. Do it again. Some flowers. Like that. There's another one. How's that meant to fit? Okay. And now, see nothing inside there? No. Nothing inside there? Do this. Nothing inside there? Okay. Last time. There you go. There's 3 boxes of flowers. These flower boxes are actually the exact same size as the bag.
And now it's time for Creature Feature.
If you are a regular viewer of this program, you would know that I have been to the think tank.
Yes, Koji here went to the think tank to see the car that broke the land speed record.
This is a world record breaker. This vehicle broke the world land speed record in 1938 at 0 to 400 miles per hour in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. 70 years ago, that would have been fantastic. This car again broke the record in 1947. Here it is. John Cobb's record wasn't beaten until 1964 by Donald Campbell's Blue Bird. Here you can see the body has been raised, just so you can see the engine inside, and you would see where the driver would have his cockpit view and where the wheels would fit into the body. One of the designers said, "We started to push the car off with Cobb inside, as the engine started a great blast of black smoke came out and obliterated the car from view. It took just a few seconds for the smoke to clear. In that brief time, the car had disappeared. It gave me a bit of a shock until I realized that the car had disappeared over the horizon." This is John Cobb celebrating with his mechanics. He'd just become the fastest man in the world. Koji Nixon, TNT News, at the think tank.
So that record was broken in the 1930s. Recently was the 90th anniversary of the car that broke the record in 1926.
History was reenacted earlier this week when a Wolverhampton-built Sunbeam Tiger returned to the spot where 90 years ago it broke the land speed record. It was on the 16th of March 1926 that this car reached the then astonishing speed of 152 miles an hour, with Sir Henry Seagrave at the wheel. Sir Henry went on to become the first man to drive faster than 200 miles an hour when he set a new record in the USA. But the Daredevil died from his injuries when he set the water speed record on Windermere in 1930. Back on nearly dry land, and to mark the anniversary of one of the proudest moments in Wolverhampton's motoring history, a festival of speed was held in Southport, featuring around 30 vehicles, all of which were built before 1935. The majority were built in the Sunbeam factory in the centre of Wolverhampton, which once employed around 6,000 workers.
And the oldest vehicle in the festival today is this one, which was built in 1910. It was rescued from a scrap heap in 1954.
This 1911 built Sunbeam also caught the attention of visitors.
1911 Sunbeam, 1620 model. There's a lot of 1216s, there's only 3 1620s left as far as we know. They only built 4 engines like this. And I've got those conrods at home. I decided to have new ones made because they were getting a bit fragile. Because there's not a spare engine in the world, so if it goes bang, it goes bang. So yeah, I'm a very lucky boy to have such a toy to play with.
Back on the beach, the cars were put through their paces, and with Blackpool towering in the background, the 1926 record breaker returned to the scene of its original triumph for one last dash along the beach, roared on by thousands of spectators. A moment of history reenacted.
So it was exactly 90 years ago today, on this very beach, that this car broke the land speed record, and it was made in Wolverhampton.
There's no doubt that back in the 20s, people thought that 150 miles an hour was fast. Now we have a car named the Bloodhound, which aims to do around 800 miles an hour by next October. And eventually in 2017, 1,000 miles an hour.
Now for our special maths challenge, organised by my school, King Edward.
the sort of competition we're running here, it's sort of a easier version of the competition that the UKMT runs every year. So we took some inspiration from their junior round, and so we've redone the questions, sort of changed the numbers, made up some new ones, and then we pushed it into a grid which the children are now doing. And so that's how we made those questions.
Okay, do you think they're difficult?
They're much harder. I think they're maybe aimed for a few years above where they are, but since these are meant to be the best in the school, I'm sure they're capable of it.
We'll see.
Yeah, we will.
I thought the first round was quite hard, but towards the end we got a bit better, and it was a bit stressful at the start because time went so quickly. But I think in the end we did well, and I think it can compete, but maybe not win.
I thought it was like harder than our heat because obviously it's the final.
It was very hard, but I think it's a score we can manage and we can gain points in the relay.
Yeah,
so
we still
have
got the
a
relay.
chance, but we kind of lost some of that chance.
I think we could have done better in the cross number.
But it was quite a
we
lot
still
of
got the
pressure.
relay to bring our score back.
Well, as you know, at King Edward School for about the last 3 years, we've run an outreach programme which has aimed to reach out into the junior schools of the city and actually challenge them to give them opportunities for their bright kids to challenge themselves against the best and brightest in other schools. And the Borchard Shield is a logical part of that initiative. It's easy with maths. It's a great way for kids who are really, really good at maths to pit themselves against each other. And as a school, we had this wonderful model which we used in our house competition with a relay and with a cross number, and we thought it would work really well for junior schools as well. And so it has turned out. It's a brilliant competition. I think the kids have a wonderful time.
King Edward School has a history of producing very good mathematicians. Richard Borchard was someone who left here in 1978. He went on to win the Fields Medal, which is the mathematical version of the Nobel Prize, and he currently works at university in America.
The three question, and then
That's 3, that's 4. Okay, so this is 4.
Just put 1 it's just 520. Yeah, 520 then, just go 520. Come on, Tom. 520, 520, 520.
Well, that was interesting. It was pretty hard, to be honest. Really hard. I think in total we only got 2 proper ones wrong.
We did okay. It was really hard.
Really?
Very
hard.
extra harder than climbing Mount Everest.
Definitely. It started getting hard. It was a bit easy at times, but then it started getting serious. It was scary.
And finally, the winners of the 15-16 Borchard Shield are, with 69 points, St. Peter's.
So, it's the last program in this series, but we'll hopefully be back next time.
Goodbye and thanks for watching.